Amazing. Hi, everybody, and welcome back to the Cozy Gamer Cast. I can't say words
I
today.
can't speak.
I've also completely forgot how we introduced this podcast because
It's been too long.
it's been a hot minute. I don't even know. Probably like more than a month, right? Since we've recorded.
Yeah. I think 2 months, maybe.
Whoopsie daisies.
Whoops.
But we're back. My name is Kat, and this is Jess, and we are
Hello.
here to talk about indie games today and things. But yes, we've both been a little MIA from the internet. I'm so sorry, but we're back. I hope you're all excited. How have you been, Jess?
I've been a little bit busier than usual, which is good. But I've been okay. Life is good.
I think like the last time we would have filmed or recorded, I should say, it was like end of summer, and now it's like middle of fall, so we had to do a fall episode, obviously.
Yeah, absolutely. But I don't know why, but it's like, I don't know if in London it's like that, but here it's still hot. Like, it's not that, it's like 20 degrees, 23 degrees Celsius.
My parents are actually in Spain right now.
Oh.
Which I didn't know until my mom messaged me at like 11 a.m. today, and I'm like, why are you awake? Like, it's like middle of the night in Vancouver. And they're like, oh no, we're in Spain, like casually.
Lovely.
But yeah, she was saying that it's like the perfect weather for them because they've been thinking of moving to Spain or Portugal, but they keep going in like August, and I'm like, there's no way you're gonna survive in that country.
No, August is rough. Canadians
aren't built for that, so
yeah.
I think fall was a good shout. Like, October is a good time for Canadians to go to Spain, in my opinion.
Yeah, October is a good time. It's a good time. But usually it's colder by this time of the year. At least in Barcelona, I don't know anywhere else. But it's slowly starting to be colder, but still just a little bit. I don't know how it's in London right now.
It's freezing here all of a sudden. It's really annoying because I don't want to turn the heat on. So
yeah,
we've pulled out our hoodies again, bundling up.
Let's go, hoodies.
Yeah, hell yeah. Use my code. No. But they are very useful for British homes that are not well insulated.
Yeah.
Yeah. So no, it's freezing cold here, but I suspect that it'll be kind of a weird winter, both here and in Canada, which brings me to my next point and why I have been so MIA, because I don't think this was a thing last time we recorded.
No, it wasn't.
But I'm moving back to Canada. It's official. It's happening. December 8th, I'm getting the hell out of the United Kingdom, and I'm going back to my home country. So
insane how life changes so much in like a
literally
month.
Yeah, so it's been crazy. It all happened very quickly, and we've just been packing and trying to sell all our stuff, and yeah, so it's been a bit wild, and therefore I've had very little spoons left for content creation, unfortunately.
Maybe promote your like furniture here and somewhere.
Yeah, if anyone lives in London and wants to buy our furniture, let me know. Like, everything on my Instagram setup is for sale, so let me know what you want.
Yeah, and she has an incredible coffee machine or something like that, the espresso machine.
Oh, yeah.
Did you sell that already?
I have one person who's interested in it and currently trying to convince people to take it.
You didn't have any issues stealing the coffee machine from the Airbnb. So,
God.
That's where the espresso machine comes from, by the way.
Yes, of course. The fabled coffee machine that I did not steal from an Airbnb.
She stole.
If you're curious about the story, I was framed by an Airbnb host last year. They claimed I stole a $400 espresso machine, smuggled it somehow out of the apartment, and then onto the train back to London, which I just thought was hilarious. Like, who at TSA or whatever you call it in Paris would be like, oh, you just have an unboxed espresso machine. That's chill. Go ahead.
Yeah, you're just carrying it around like a little baby. You're a little espresso baby.
Ridiculous. But anyways, now the lore is that I in fact stole an espresso machine, which did not happen. For legal reasons, did not happen. Everyone needs to stop.
Yeah, for the police who's like listening to the podcast.
Yeah.
Our number one audience.
Yeah. First of all, a cab. Second of all, I did not steal that espresso machine. Anyways, those are the big
Yeah.
bits of news. We'll get more into kind of non-gaming stuff later and talk about life.
Yeah.
And I'd need to hear more about Jess's course that you're in.
Oh yeah, my course. Yeah, I have a thing going on now.
Exactly. So we've got life updates, I promise. But anyways, this week's theme, we're going to be talking about fall games because we've just kind of been thrown right into the fall season, and I'm so glad because I freaking hate summer, honestly. I'm not built for it.
I mean, I say all the time that I'm a creature of like the summer because like I'm from Venezuela, but honestly, it's just I've been slowly turning into a creature of fall now. And
yeah,
I think I'm gonna betray my roots and I'm just gonna go ahead and stay in the fall forever.
You have like fall girl aesthetics for someone who grew up in a hot place and now lives in a hot place.
Yeah, that's the reason why I think I always wanted to leave Venezuela. Like, I always wanted to travel and leave the country because it's just like it's not my aesthetic.
Yeah. No, like I can totally picture you in like a British long beige coat thing, you know?
Oh yeah.
But I feel like it doesn't ever get cold
beige.
enough in Spain.
Yeah.
Like,
just give me beige colors, a beige palette, and it's just like I'm the beige bitch.
Exactly. But before we get into the games for today's theme, we need to talk about our assigned game from last time. It's been a hot minute since I played it, but
I remember you crying.
Oh my god, yeah.
I won't forget those tears.
So Jess assigned me Before Your Eyes based on our last podcast episode, which is all about games for readers. And Before Your Eyes, if you're unfamiliar, is an amazing story indie game, but it is very unique in that you use your blinking to play the game, essentially. I was originally going to play it in VR, but I actually ended up playing it just on Steam with the camera, which worked great, I think.
Yeah, it works great.
I'd love to play it in VR, but it's too hard to set up for a stream, so I was like, no point.
Yeah, absolutely. But it must be amazing in VR.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to replaying it in VR for sure. But yeah, that was like about a month ago that I played it on stream. If you want to see that video, it's still up on the YouTube. But yeah,
if you want to see her
sobbed.
cry.
It was so emotional. That game is fantastic. Really, really good.
Yeah. What was your favorite part, like, of it all?
I think the way that they kind of switch up the gameplay at points where it's like, oh, now you have to keep your eyes closed and listen.
Oh, that is so good. Like, it's so immersive.
Because I could see how, even though it's a beautiful story and super emotional, if all you did was blink the whole time, it might become kind of like boring. But yeah, they switch it up in really interesting ways. And
I think it's the perfect length as well. Like, it's not too long that you're like always blinking and you're like, all right, when is this gonna end?
Yeah, I have learned that I can't keep my eyes open to save my life, though.
Yeah, and I know, that too. I used to like turn my head around so that I wouldn't notice that I was blinking because I wanted to see the entire scene play out.
Yeah.
But
cheater is what you're saying.
Yeah, I'm a little bit of a cheater because I think the purpose of the game is that you let it go and that you understand that you blink and that you have to miss some moments. Like, it's a normal thing to happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the part where you have to close your eyes, it also comes like at a perfect time in the story because you're already really involved with the characters and you really want to know what's going to happen to them. And it's starting to become like a very emotional story. And suddenly they tell you to close your eyes and listen and like stay in the moment. And just like, it's very powerful, I think.
Yeah, I just think it's a really interesting use of like, where for the most of the game, you're working on your sense of sight to then like move to completely like just having to be immersed in the sound of what's going on. Yeah, it's just, it's good. And obviously there's like a big like story twist that I won't spoil. That's just, it's going to stick with me forever.
Yeah.
It was a very good game. And I do think it's one of those games that it shows how video games can do things differently than any other medium.
Yeah.
Which I know we've talked a lot about before, but yeah, it's a great showcase of that, for sure.
Yeah, and it's also the kind of game that you won't be able to play the same way the first time. So it's like, if you ever do get Before Your Eyes, just know that the first experience is going to be the best experience of the game. So like, enjoy it.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of these story-rich, like, walking simulator types.
Yeah.
I wish, like, I could play them for the first time again.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do really stick with you. And it is a very short game. It's the perfect stream game for that reason. I think that it might be one of my favorite games I've played this year so far. Just very memorable.
Yeah. And if you're looking for something that's like very emotional for the fall, it also could work for like a fall game. If you want to cry, if you want to like
get in your emotions.
Get in your emotions, let it all go, scream, cry, throw up.
And like the art style is quite, I would say it's like more winter vibes. Like it's very like dark stars and that type of stuff. But it's got fall vibes in that like it's got a similar art style to some of the other games that we're talking today about, like Night in the Woods, etc.
Yeah.
That just, even if they're not set in fall, kind of still speak fall vibes to me. But
yeah. What is it about a game that speaks fall vibes to you, even if it's not set in the fall?
I think it is a little bit of like that sad girl fall vibes that I love, which is probably why all these games are like the ones I like the most.
Yeah.
And so I think there's a little bit of that. I think it's also just like association of like a certain game art style with fall settings, because there's other games like Night in the Woods that we'll talk about later.
Yeah.
That are kind of iconically fall games. I
also think the soundtrack, for some reason, has like this ability to make you feel like you're in the fall. Like maybe some games will use like soft guitars or soft piano.
Yeah.
Things like that.
Yeah, and actually with Before Your Eyes, I think the sound design is so important.
Yeah.
And even the voice acting, which I think is another important thing for me that helps with like the fall vibes of a game, because it's very comforting to hear really well done voice acting, but also the main guy in that, his voice is just like a warm hug.
Yeah. Oh, the wolf.
Yeah, the wolf.
Yeah, the wolf. The wolf is hot.
Yes. Yes.
I mean,
this is true.
Like, come on, you just look up the wolf.
Everyone go look up the wolf from Before Your Eyes and you'll understand what we're talking about.
Yeah. It's like this shaggy wolf. Okay. I'll just stop.
Anyways, that is our assigned game of the week. We had a lot of fun with that one.
Yeah.
And I think we should choose short games like that more for assigned games.
Definitely,
it's easy to get through. Easy for us to actually do them. So.
Yeah.
Anyways, moving into news of the week. We're at the end of October today. Actually, it's Halloween tomorrow. Exciting times.
Halloween tomorrow, yeah.
Huge.
In terms do you have plans?
No, I don't. I'm such a loser. I have a job interview, but that's it.
Oh, cool.
I know.
Cool. That's a plan.
Yeah. That's what I'm just going to
dress up for it.
Yeah, imagine. I'm one of those people that will just spend the whole day thinking about that and then the whole evening thinking about what I said that was dumb in the interview.
Absolutely, yeah.
So I have no plans that day because all I want to do is that one thing.
Yeah, I always try to remember that I don't sound as dumb as I think I do. Like sometimes, like even if I try, even if I really think I sounded dumb, sometimes like, maybe I didn't sound as dumb as I think I did.
Yeah. I wish my brain would shut up sometimes. I'm like, no one else thinks this much about what they say. But anxiety.
There's a big gap. Yeah, there's a big gap between self-perception and like how it actually is.
100%. Yeah. Anyways.
I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. In terms of games that have come out recently, it feels like it's been a really busy month, but it's been, I think, a busy AAA month. Indies, it's been like quieter, but I think next month is going to be big. But the big ones in terms of the last few weeks, My Time at Sandrock finally came out in full version. It's been in early access, I think, for a couple of years now. But now it is out on console and full release on PC.
What is the difference between My Time at Portia and My Time at Sandrock?
My Time at Sandrock is a sequel, essentially.
Oh, okay.
It's set in a different city. It's set in like a desert area. And so there's a bit more like focus on this idea of like water and bringing lush life essentially back to like a desert community.
Okay.
And there's cowboys. There's a hot cowboy that I think you would like in it.
Say less.
I love My Time at Sandrock. I've been playing in early access for a while, and it's My Time at Portia too. Perfect games. They're just very good farming simulators, and they've got this like post-apocalyptic thing going on where there's like old tech and like a bit like dungeon crawling where you're like finding robots and stuff from the old world. And
oh, I didn't know about that.
Yeah, it's so good. It's like kind of a mesh of like a traditional Harvest Moon farming simulator, and like it gives me Breath of the Wild vibes sometimes.
Yeah.
Or like Horizon Zero Dawn vibes, where there's all these like ruins of the old world and you kind of recognize it because it looks like our Earth. It's very interesting. Anyways,
Ooh.
that's my little rant on how good My Time at Sandrock is. Everyone should go play.
Yeah.
The other one is a Tiny Sticker Tale.
Mm-hmm.
It came out this month. I haven't actually played it yet, but it's on my backlog. And I've been looking forward to it. It's, I believe, by the same people as, what's that game called? With the little fox guy. Kind of like Zelda. Not Tunic, but...
I know what you mean. I know what fox game.
Yeah.
It's a Mexican studio.
I'm pretty sure this is the same studio. At least it looks like the exact same art style, but I could be wrong.
It's a fox. It's a fox, isn't it?
Ogre Pixel is the dev.
Ogre Pixels, yeah.
Lonesome Village.
We saw it at the same time.
That was incredible sync. Yeah. Yes, it is in fact by the same people, Ogre Pixel, very similar art style.
Yeah.
And I believe it's like an RPG with like these sticker vibes. Cozy miniature adventure about changing the world using the power of stickers. Yeah. Very excited. I need to play it. It's on Switch and Steam.
It looks really cute. Like, look at that donkey.
Yeah. So if you like cozy RPGs, you'll definitely be into that. And I'm assuming if you like Lonesome Village, you'll probably dig that too, because looks like it's got similar vibes, which is cool. And then the other one coming out later this week is Jusant.
I haven't heard of this one. What is it?
Yeah, I'm excited about this one. It is a adventure puzzle RPG. It looks gorgeous. It's by the same devs as Life is Strange 1 and 2.
Oh.
So I'm hoping for a good story as well.
Oh, he has like a little creature.
Yeah.
Back.
Yes, I'm actually be playing that later this week on stream.
Oh, interesting.
So I'm looking forward to that. I got a PS5 copy too, because my little PC, my little laptop would not be able to handle it. But
yeah,
I believe it's coming out.
Because you already sold your computer. You already don't have it anymore.
Yeah, technically it's in the living room, but it is sold.
Oh, okay.
Just waiting for a box.
Yeah.
But yes, I'm on my laptop now, which it can run maybe Sims. But not much more than that. That's kind of as
maybe
far
not
as
the
I've
entire
tested
Sims.
Yeah, not with all my packs or anything. So debatable whether or not this is a useful thing to switch everything over to. But I'm a console gamer anyways, so yeah. And I think that's also the main ones. There's a League of Legends cozy game coming out this week, but that's not really indie, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But curious to see how that goes, because I think there's a lot of big IPs looking at the cozy game space now.
Yeah.
We have a Lord of the Rings cozy game that was announced last month.
Really?
Yeah, we have know nothing about it other than a little teaser.
Who's gonna be in charge? Do you know?
I think it's a cozy game studio, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, okay.
I'm assuming it's about hobbits. I think there was like a hobbit hole thing in the teaser.
Oh,
how do I
cute.
Google this? Lauder cozy game. Tales of the Shire is a cozy Lord of the Rings. Coming 2024. Developed by Weta Workshop, the New Zealand-based special effects and props company.
Oh,
interesting. So is this their first game?
It might be. It's cute that they're doing it in New Zealand.
Yeah, that's cool. I think that's a good idea. Yeah, I think this is their first game.
I would love a cozy Lord of the Rings game. What the hell?
It's such a good idea. And I know nothing about the game, but already the title and the aesthetic of the trailer that they put out.
Teaser,
looks great.
I just saw it. Yeah. So
cute.
So
I'm very curious to see now between like League of Legends and now Lord of the Rings. I wonder if we're gonna get like a Star Wars cozy game at some point. The big IPs are turning their eyes towards this market pretty quickly here.
I'm here for it, honestly.
Yeah, I'd be very down.
But I hope that it doesn't like if these games are like really big or like really good, I hope it doesn't how do I say it? Increase the expectations on indie developers. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
Like most of the cozy games we know are made by very small studios or very small groups of people.
I think that was kind of the same thing we saw with Fae Farm. Of oh wow, cozy games can be developed by like large teams, even though it's still an indie studio.
But then again, it's interesting because people with Fae Farm, people were not willing to pay as much, the amount that game cost.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know if people are willing to pay full price for cozy games.
Yeah, I think it's a good question because Animal Crossing obviously was a full price game, but it's got like
Yeah.
years and whole IP behind it.
Yeah.
But there's nothing really else that's as big an IP. Obviously, Story of Seasons / Harvest Moon is a full priced series as well. But again, years and decades of history.
Yeah, people were comparing it with Stardew Valley. Like, if Stardew Valley is not that expensive, then why is Fae Farm that expensive and whatever? And I don't know if it's a good comparison.
Yeah, who could ever replicate what Stardew Valley's done?
Exactly. Like, it's just its own thing. Stardew Valley is just the exception of, like, all the rules, I think. Like,
I don't know if it's healthy for anyone to work as much as he works. Like,
yeah.
He doesn't have, I think, that many employees that he pays. I'm sure he does have some people, but like, yeah, it's just a whole different scale. Like the amount of people that work on Animal Crossing is
Exactly.
I'm sure not even quite understandable because there's just so many like offshoots of that kind of game.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's interesting. I like the idea that people are treating cozy games more seriously, but it also means that we're probably going to get a lot of shit games that cost too much money and a lot of like weird choices in the industry that are mainly driven by money. So
yeah,
which actually is a good segue.
It's a good I was gonna say like that's a great way to introduce.
I wasn't sure how I was gonna get us there, but that worked really well. The piece of news I want to talk about today, again, not indie related. Our indie game studios are just too well behaved. I can never come up with any news for them.
Yeah.
But we had a big announcement this past week for Disney Dreamlight Valley, which is obviously a very large game in the cozy gaming space right now. So I thought it was relevant to bring to the podcast. But essentially, if you don't know the history of Disney's Dreamlight Valley,
which I don't know the history, so
it is a good game. I'll say I've played it a lot. I haven't played it in a while, but it came out last year, or maybe the year before, in early access. It's kind of a different early access than most games because it was early access both on PC and Switch. I've been playing through Game Pass, but if you did buy the game on PC or console, you were paying money essentially for the early access version with the promise that you would get like extra things when the actual game came out.
Okay.
And there was no like microtransactions for most of the early access period. So we got like free Moonstone currency.
Yeah.
For most of the early access. I haven't played since they added microtransactions because like to be honest, I just don't really like games that are like that. But from my understanding, microtransactions are a part of the game now, even though it's still in early access. The problem was that they told us that the game would be free to play when it comes out for full release, which I think is this December, from what I understand.
Okay.
And that was always the assumption. And from a cozy game content creator perspective, I've always told people, like, if you don't have Game Pass, just wait until the game's free to play because it will happen eventually.
I remember you saying that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, there's no reason to pay this much money. I think like the basic edition is like $25 and then it was like $60 to get all of the add-ons and stuff.
Okay.
Which I'm just like, I don't think that's worth it personally. I'm sure lots of people have gotten a great amount of playtime in this game because it has. Like people have gotten very obsessed with this game in a similar way to Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
Games with microtransactions that aren't free to play confuse me.
Yeah.
You're asking people to buy stuff in game, but also the game's not. You have to pay for the game. Like
yeah, because it's not even DLC. It's just like you always have to be paying for the game because you always have to be paying for new stuff.
I play this game enough to know how important buying the Moonstone things are.
Yeah.
But from my understanding, like that was the business model, like that they were going to sell you the fun little Disney outfits because you have nostalgia for that or whatever.
Right.
So I'm confused, but also like I think it is a scary bit of news of these big companies coming into the cozy space and knowing there's a lot of money in this audience.
Yeah.
If they're going to continue to rinse us dry, essentially.
Absolutely. Like it's really shady for them to say that the game was going to stay free to play and then suddenly change that.
Yeah.
And already when they already have like a full fan base.
Exactly. Yeah.
Of people who have been playing in early access.
Obviously shitty for the people who made the decision not to get the game in early access because they're like, I'll just wait for free to play.
Right.
Because now they might, I guess, not get access to some of the stuff that people did because they bought the game early. But I don't know.
So the people who are playing it free access right now, early access.
Yeah, early access. Yeah.
Are they going to be able to like play the game as always without paying it again, right? Without paying for it.
Yeah, so they'll still just own the game. It'll just update because they've already bought it. Obviously, like for those of us playing Game Pass, same thing. Like we essentially own the game as long as you have a Game Pass subscription.
Right. Yeah.
It's disappointing, but it shouldn't change anything for people who are already in early access. If anything, for people like for me personally, it just makes me not really want to play because it was just scummy and not my favorite business decision. But it's Disney, so what did we expect, really?
Right. Right. So it's like if more and more companies start to develop cozy games and things like that, I think that that's gonna be something that we're gonna like encounter.
Absolutely.
More often than not.
The fact that Disney got into it at all was kind of surprising to me, but it, like after they did it, I'm like, oh, of course, this is no brainer. They're gonna make so much money off this. So it's disappointing to see them kind of like take a step away from being involved in the community and just do something so blatantly business-minded.
Anti-community, yeah.
Because so far the devs have been quite good at listening to the community at large, and that's been kind of one of the standout things about it. So I don't know what that's going to look like in the long term.
I mean, it's not like I am the audience particularly for that kind of game, because first of all, I'm not a big fan of Disney. Like I don't feel the nostalgia like people do, and second of all, I don't really play that many farming simulators and stuff like that. But if I'm just finding out this information, I'm not gonna pay for a game for it to like charge me for premium content all the time. Yeah, like I understand DLCs, and even then, I know that DLCs face a lot of criticism because it's like okay, you don't release all the content just to pay all the content in the game, just to charge for it afterwards. But I understand DLCs. I don't get why I would have to buy premium stuff in a game that I've already paid for. At least I don't know.
100%.
I wouldn't do it.
Made a good point here that Disney also did the Marvel's Avengers game, which was a full price game with microtransactions. But it not only was that game terrible from the sounds of it.
I remember it was.
It got awful reviews, but it was also poorly received that they had microtransactions in a full price game. So what they ended up doing eventually was they made all the bonus paid content free, essentially. So they kind of retracted it. I don't imagine that they would do that for Disney Dreamlight Valley just because people will continue playing. Like, it's built such a community around it. Like, streaming Disney Dreamlight Valley is the same as streaming Animal Crossing the height of the pandemic, you know?
Yeah.
So, I think it would be unlikely that it'll ever get retracted.
Disney adults are crazy.
Yes, and Disney adults is a whole market on top of cozy gaming that has a huge intersection. So they've done a great job.
Yeah, it has a huge intersection. Absolutely. If you think about it, it's like if you think about it from a business perspective, it's actually they're very smart.
It was an incredibly big brained move on their part.
Yeah,
but it's the same thing. Like Hello Kitty, the Sanrio stuff is huge now, and they're really getting into the cozy gaming space.
Yeah, they should do more of this.
Yeah, which is just genius marketing move. Whoever in their team was like, hey, like that Animal Crossing Sanrio collab went really well. Why don't we just make our own game? That was like very smart, and I'm sure they're going to make buckets.
Yeah.
But I would think...
if they invest on it.
Yeah. I wonder what other brands like Disney, Sanrio, what else is kind of like an overlap? Like maybe anime, there's something there. Ghibli, obviously. But they tried gaming, and I don't know how well that went for them. But yeah, I think there's a lot of... Lord of the Rings, clearly an obvious one.
Lord of the Rings. Oh, and the company behind Rilakkuma and, you know, the bears with the chicken.
Do you know what I mean? I do know what you mean. Yeah, I don't think I've ever heard the name before, but yes, I think I've seen that.
That it has like a Netflix show and all.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that kind of stuff we'll probably see more of.
Everything that's cute and kawaii and just like... it has a huge market for it.
Yeah. So we'll see. Interesting piece of news just because I think it's scary.
Yeah.
We'll see how it goes. I did want to mention that if you're looking for a free-to-play game that's kind of similar to Disney Dreamlight Valley by an indie studio, Paleo is currently in beta at the moment. I do think they intend to have microtransactions, but it's going to be free-to-play. It's free-to-play now. I don't
I mean,
imagine they take that away. Because
yeah, unless they take it away. Apparently they can do that now. But yeah.
I think their whole business model is the microtransaction route. So I can't imagine they would, but we'll see. But yes, an indie studio that's working really hard and doing some interesting stuff. Obviously, you don't get the Disney nostalgia. That's very unique to Disney Dreamlight Valley.
Yeah.
But similar farming sim elements and online play, etc. So.
Oh, imagine a Zelda cozy game.
They would never, but I would pay so much money.
They would never, absolutely. But like, it would be so good.
Like in Wind Waker gives you, like, the Ghibli vibes. Like it would be so easy to do. Like, yeah. To make a Korok game. It's the same thing if like if Sonic,
a Korok game.
If Sega just made a freaking Chow Garden game.
Absolutely, they would kill it.
They would sell so much. Like, come on.
Like, I remember when I first played Sonic Adventure 2, like, most of the time I just spent it in the garden. So it's like
100%,
the nostalgia behind the garden, because it hasn't appeared in any Sonic game ever since.
Yeah, why?
I don't know, and everybody asks for it all the time. Like, they know that people want it, but they don't do it. Yeah. Like, there was an interview with the director one day where they asked him, like, oh, what's the thing that people ask for the most? And he was like, the Chow Garden.
Give it to me. I want it.
and then it was like, oh, is this game going to have a Chow Garden? He was like, no. It's like, why? Sega, please.
Like, Sonic Frontiers had these other cute little things that were kind of like Pikmin almost. They like followed you around. But I'm like, you have chows. Just like so easy. Just use those again. I don't understand.
Right. They're so adorable. The design is perfect. It's the ultimate life form.
Yeah. I just don't understand. If someone could, maybe an indie studio should just
make something like it.
Yeah, just rip it off, please. Yeah. I need it.
Yeah. Oh, can you imagine a Pokemon cozy game?
Oh,
that would also be great. But I don't.
They've kind of like Pokemon Cafe, I think was trying to do that, and like what was the one where it was literally you were just taking care of them? I can't remember, but I think they've tried it a few times, and I think the problem with Pokemon is that they were like, let's send out 100 games a year, and all of them are going to be like meh, instead of just making like one good game.
Yeah, I was gonna say that I don't trust them with main Pokemon games. Yeah. I'm not gonna trust them with how do you say that? Like a spin-off, like a cozy spin-off. I don't like why do I think that's gonna be any good?
100%. Like I think the reason why Sanrio and Disney were successful was like it was the only thing they were focusing their energy on at the time.
Yeah, and they did good. I mean, the games are good.
I do not trust Pokemon at all to do that.
Yeah.
But Zelda would be great. Sega would be great. Please give me some Sonic stuff. But they're all chickens. They're not brave enough. Anyway, shall we jump into our topic of the week now?
Yeah. Let's go.
Today we are talking about games for fall, as we mentioned. I think like it's cozy bitch season. It's time
our season.
For cozy games.
Yeah.
Whether it's actual cozy games or like just playing games in a cozy way, this is the time of year.
When cozy games just like join in a single place and they start reproducing amongst themselves and they give birth to new cozy games, it's beautiful to see.
Yeah, exactly. And you can totally tell in the beginning of fall that's like just mayhem in terms of cozy game releases, and then it really slows down. But
it really slows down, yeah.
It's crazy that first couple weeks of September. But yeah, so we want to talk about specifically games that are set in fall that we both enjoy. More games that are just like comforting and warm and give you fall vibes. Mm-hmm. But then also, because it's Halloween tomorrow, I know we've done our big cozy horror thing before, but we want to mention a couple things that have either like Halloween events or Halloween topics, vibes.
Halloweeny vibes. Yeah.
That kind of thing. But anyway, shall we jump into some games that are set in fall?
Yeah, let's go. The first one that comes to mind, it might be Firewatch.
Yes, yeah. Gosh, that game's pretty. Yeah.
Yeah, that game's really pretty. Like the forest and the trees and like the colors. It's just very pretty. And we've talked about Firewatch before and about what it's about.
Yeah.
But it's just it cannot be left out.
No, yeah. Like literally the whole color scheme is fall.
The color scheme is fall. and it's a very immersive game as well. Like you play in first person, and there are not like a lot of things to do. It's most of you exploring the forest, and every now and then you have like company with you, but like it's just a voice, like without a body, without a face, without anything. So it's just like a very lonely game that lets you just like take in the forest and, you know, just like explore it on your own pace.
For sure.
And then there are like fires in the forest, which makes it all more warm. And I don't know, the game looks very pretty when the fires are going on.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if that's a spoiler, and if it is, you should cut it, Jack.
Well, it is called Firewatch. I feel like if anyone's surprised that there's fires in the Firewatch game.
Yeah.
Chances are there might be a fire at some point.
Yeah, at some point, yeah.
Yes, I think that's a great one, and it kind of fits into that sad bitch season too.
Yeah, and also a little bit Halloween-y, a little bit.
Yeah, spooky. Got some creepy vibes going on, mysterious stuff happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, the other obvious one that we've talked about before as well, Night in the Woods.
Night in the Woods, yeah.
It is just the
fall game.
The landscape fall scenes are just they're the best fall vibes I think in any.
I think it has the best fall vibes. It's almost like you can smell the crisp air in the game.
Yeah,
I don't know how to explain it. It's just like it's very warm.
And it seems like an obvious setting to put with like the trees turning colors and stuff. It like immediately makes you feel comfortable. But then you're in this main character's head who is like actually very uncomfortable in this setting.
Yeah, actually, that reminds me. There's a friend of mine who always tells me like for her fall is like the season of healing and the season of like starting again. And more than, you know, January, which is like the first month of the year, she feels like fall is the time where she can like start new things and like start new projects and things like that. And I think the themes in Night in the Woods kind of like alienate with that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because like it's a game about starting again, about leaving the past behind and starting again. And it does feel a lot like a very fall vibes, like everything's like dying and everything's like renewing itself in a way.
Yeah, I think that there's like a very good metaphor there with like harvest season in general. Of like things dying and renewing and
like it's a time to think about what you've done so far. I don't know. I don't know if that makes sense.
No, it does, absolutely. Yeah, it's definitely a good game if you want to get into like feelings of like life not going the way you thought it was going to go, that kind of like not quite coming of age, but like the point after you've come of age but you still feel a bit lost.
Yeah,
if you're like in college or like a young adult, it's a great game to play. Great queer representation, and it's got kind of some of the creepy Halloween vibes too, which seems to be a trend in these fall set games as well.
Yeah, it has like this mystery going on as well. But yeah, it's like what you said about I forgot. Yeah, you were saying the coming of age thing, because coming of age movies are always so uplifting. And I think that's why everybody, like when we're young adults, we love to see coming of age movies. Like I don't know anybody who doesn't love coming of age movies, especially at that age.
Yeah. Because
it's like very teenage vibes, but it's like it stays at a point in time when you were still optimistic about your life. And when you're a young adult, you're kind of like, okay, but life doesn't really work that way. Like you can stay optimistic, but life is a little bit more bland than, you know, this very awesome soundtrack and travel around the country vibes kind of gives you. Like life is a lot more normal than that.
Yeah, I think Night in the Woods has that millennial humor that a lot of us will relate to too. Because it's like moving back in your parents and I just think
and failing having to, you know, come to terms with the fact that you failed. Which is something that people don't talk about a lot in media. And just like what you're gonna do from this point on after you've failed. I mean,
absolutely. The next one that's very heavily set in fall is A Short Hike.
Short Hike, yeah.
Which I'm sure we've mentioned A Short Hike at some point, right?
I think so, yeah. I don't remember when though.
That game will make you cry, but it is littered with beautiful fall foliage throughout.
Yeah, yeah. And it's just such a nice game to play. Like
Mm.
it takes up all your monitor and it makes it so
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah, the pixel art is
Yeah, the
gorgeous.
pixel art is amazing.
I don't know how they do that. It's just
Yeah.
I'm so fascinated by pixel artists. But yeah, you're so right. Like not it just feels like even though it's not like first person or realistic graphics or anything, you do feel kind of like you're in it because it's such a beautiful landscape.
Yeah.
And the music is just
It's very
phenomenal.
wide as well. Like the angles are very wide, so it's like you feel like you are maybe in an airplane watching everything.
Yeah.
It's just really, really beautiful.
Yeah. The gliding is very satisfying.
Oh, the gliding is so satisfying, yeah.
If you
And it's just like the sound design
exploring.
as well. It's just very simple. And everything is so cute.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
nice to play.
I feel like a lot of these games that are kind of fall vibes or set in fall also have like animal characters.
Yeah, right. Well, I think because we relate fall with forest, you know, a lot with trees and stuff like that. I don't know, maybe it's just a natural thing to have like animal characters if you are gonna be playing in a natural setting, you know, like a nature or forest or something like that. In this case, it's an island.
Yeah.
But it's all nature.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just easy to draw. It's easier to draw and to make animal characters.
Yeah, there probably is a bit of that. It reminds me of Little Gator Game too.
Oh yeah.
Very similar vibe. I don't know if I'd say it's set in fall, but I think one of the islands is like all fall foliage from what I remember, or at least it's like orange trees. But similar to A Short Hike with a different art style, essentially, where you're like gliding around. There's a lot of Zelda references, which is what I like about it.
Yeah.
And also just very cute. Ton of animal characters. Very fun little exploring game.
Is it from different developers? Because it's like really similar. It hits similar.
Yeah, I don't know if A Short Hike has done any other games.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it is a very similar vibe. I don't know if the Little Gator Game people have done anything else either.
It reminds me of Akala in Breath of the Wild.
Yes, exactly. I was going to mention too, there's a game coming out that I played at EGX called Pine Hearts, which very similar vibe to A Short Hike and Gator Game, where it's like exploring fetch questy stuff. I think it might actually technically be set in summer, but you're like in a campground and there's lots of dogs to pet. It's great. It was such a phenomenal game. Really good accessibility settings too. I was really blown away.
When is it gonna release? Do they know?
I think it should be. I was trying to think when they told me the demos and stuff were coming out. It should be, I think, Q3, 2 or 3 of 2024. But I think they'll have a public demo out at the beginning of the year, hopefully.
Mega Wobble is the dev.
Mega Wobble is the dev. Is it just Little Gator Game? I think it is. I think they've only done Little Gator Game. Cute though. Great game.
Yeah, it's really cute. I've never played it before, but like it looks really cute.
Yeah, it's very good. Actually, you'd really like it because of all the Zelda references.
Yeah. It's like an adventure game, like, or like, do you have to, or is it more similar to?
It's essentially like Breath of the Wild without combat.
Ah, I see.
Oh, they do like, there's some combat technically, but it's like, it's a bunch of, the storyline is essentially a bunch of kids are like on an island playing pretend.
Okay.
So they have like little cardboard things that are supposed to be monsters. And so you'll occasionally have to like beat the monsters, which is just like chop down the cardboard thing. It's so cute. It's such a fun little idea.
Cute, yeah.
But essentially the main character is a child who's like obsessed with a story his sister made up, which is pretty much the story of Zelda. And they make very direct references to it. Like it's not a hidden thing or anything.
Oh.
He puts together this whole thing for his friends where he builds all the little cardboard things, and there's like little side quests that his friends run throughout the island. It's really cute.
Oh, I want to play it now.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite games of last year.
It's not on Switch though, is it?
I think it is. Yeah, it should be on Switch now.
Oh, okay.
I believe it is.
Oh, yeah, it is. It is.
Yeah, I think it's on all consoles now. But yes, very, very good game.
So cute.
And very similar vibes to A Short Hike.
Yeah. I think also in the same vein of like Night in the Woods, Follow the Porcupine, which I don't know if you've finished.
I have not played it yet.
Yeah, I haven't played it yet either. But it's also set in. Is it set in the fall?
It looks like it is. Surely,
yeah.
It's got like the same art style of Night in the Woods, and I'm always shocked to know that it's not the same developers.
Yeah, definitely Fall of a Porcupine. Well, it isn't the title, but yeah, like literally the logo.
Yeah,
is like last fall.
Yeah, so their slogan is "Last Day of Summer," so it must be that period between summer and fall.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which is cool. Adventure video game.
Yeah, it's also a story-based game like Night of the Woods, where you have to like it's like you have to scroll. It's just you have to walk. It's like a walking simulator, but a little bit of, I don't know if it has like a little bit of platforming. Night in the Woods has like you have to jump the.
Yeah, I'd be curious to play that one. I've had it in my backlog for so long.
I've had it in my backlog too. Yeah.
One day.
I'm trying to
think if there's anything else set in fall.
Well, I think Little Misfortune is set in fall.
Yes. Very good one.
It's a very, very good game, especially if you like dark humor. I don't know if it's necessarily set in the fall, but it's definitely set fall vibes. Yeah. It's a very cute game about a little girl who, well, to call it cute is it's up to discussion, but
it's like technically cute.
Technically cute, but then also it's fucked. Like, there's no other way to put it. But I don't know why when innocent little creatures, like in this case, an innocent little girl, talks so openly about dark subjects. I don't know why it hits different. It's like so good. But yeah, it's a girl and she's just exploring the city. She goes on a little adventure on her own. And you have like also the Halloweeny. It's a little bit creepy, but you also have the Halloweeny kind of like amusement park, like a horror, like how do you call House of Horrors? No.
Yeah.
Like a house. Yeah,
haunted
house
house
of Horrors?
Yeah.
Haunted house. Yeah, haunted house, that's the word. There's like a haunted house. There's like Halloweeny balloons. So I think it's just like perfect for fall.
Yeah, that game is creepy. I've never actually played it myself.
Yeah, it has like content warning. It has like subjects of like suicide and death and violence against children. So it is like you have to go to it like cautiously. But if you are okay with that, it will traumatize you in a way, which I think it's great for the fall.
And also just as a very good Little Misfortune cosplay.
Oh yeah, I do have a little Misfortune cosplay.
I feel like that game was meant for your aesthetic and your stream. Like, it's
absolutely,
perfect.
It has my sense of humor.
Yeah. Any other ones that are set in fall that you can think of?
I don't know, specifically in fall. Well, Vanishing of Ethan Carter. I think it's set in the fall. I think it is. Well, I don't know.
It looks like it would be. That's one of the ones that have been on my list to play forever.
Yeah, it's definitely set in the fall. Like from what I'm seeing in the foliage and the trees and stuff. Looks fall vibes, yeah, definitely. Which I haven't played it either. It's a mystery. It's a story-rich game, walking simulator as well, where you have to like find out what happened in a murder or something like that. That's what I understand it is.
Yeah, it's interesting that there's so many walking simulators set in this time of year, because there's also A Tale of Two Brothers. I think it's also called A Tale of Two Sons in some countries.
Oh.
Or Brothers, A Tale of Two Sons, I should say. That, yeah, I've never played myself, but it's another walking simulator that's usually recommended alongside like Firewatch, Ethan Carter, Edith Finch.
Yeah.
And I think there's a co-op aspect to it. But yeah, again, fall foliage everywhere. There's something, I guess, like emotional and specifically useful for a story-rich game to be set in fall, which is interesting.
Yeah, it's just like I think fall is a very nostalgic season. So everything that has to do with memories or like things that have no closure and things like that are very good for fall.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
The other kind of like obvious ones are like any farming sim, essentially, that has seasonal cycles will have a good fall vibe to it.
Yeah.
My Time at Portia, Wildflowers. any of the Harvest Moony games, that kind of stuff. Stardew Valley, obviously. You can get some really good mods for Stardew Valley also to make fall like extra cozy, which I would very much recommend, because the base game fall is a bit depressing because everything dies.
I don't know. Your crops die, you mean your animals die?
Well, your crops are doing really well because it's harvest season, but your like the grass and stuff dies.
Okay.
But a couple mods and it's beautiful.
I've actually been thinking about playing Stardew.
Oh, you got to. Yeah. This is a great time of year to start Stardew too. It's like how this is a great time of year to start Gilmore Girls. Like this is a great time of year to start Stardew Valley.
Well, I actually started Twin Peaks, and my other thing that I wanted to start was Gilmore Girls, which I think are like very fall vibes shows, both of them.
Such an interesting pairing of TV shows, because Twin Peaks is Jack's favorite TV show and Gilmore Girls is
Gilmore
my
Girls
favorite
is
TV
yours.
show.
It's just I'm your daughter.
And you're right, those both have very good fall vibes in terms of TV.
Yeah, they do. In different ways,
opposite reasons.
Yeah, in different ways, because Gilmore Girls, I think I would think it's like very cozy and you know, and then Twin Peaks is just like weird fall. You know, like something's going on and you don't really know what it is.
Twin Peaks is like, it's still very cozy because it's set in a small town. There's like, the characters are very lovable and very like wholesome, but it's got that kind of like murder mystery thing that like, if you're the kind of person that listens to like true crime podcasts to relax at night, Twin Peaks is the show. Like, yeah,
definitely. I am that kind of girl. I am your true crime bitch.
Yeah.
Why do we call it?
We're just, everything is something bitch.
Something bitch, cozy bitch, true crime bitch. But yeah. And I'm loving that part of it. I'm loving the mystery part of it.
Yeah. I'm sure there are lots of murder mystery games, but more that are like kind of that Twin Peaks vibe of like small town murder mystery would be very interesting.
Definitely.
This is not a murder mystery, but it reminded me the game Lake.
Oh.
Which I haven't actually played myself, but it's that small town Gilmore Girls vibe of like you're mainly just interacting with people in the town. I think Life is Strange has this kind of vibe too.
Life is Strange, yeah. Now that I think about it, Life is Strange does have that vibe. Because it's not like, usually with these walking simulators like Ethan Carter or like Edith Finch, the protagonist is almost like the only character there. You know, like there are not. Well, I don't know about Ethan Carter, but it doesn't seem like there are many characters there. And Firewatch as well, like there are not many characters. It's just like the protagonist alone. And then in games like Life is Strange, you do get a lot of interaction with other characters, and there's like a whole universe, a whole town, built for the game, which I think is also very fun to explore.
Yeah, I'd love more small town vibe type stuff, because I love those types of stories. Like that's the kind of books I read. That's the kind of TV I read. Or read, watch. Words, English is hard. But yeah, no, I think that feels fall, even if it's not set in fall, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
Which is cool. I guess last bit of this, Halloween vibes. Have we missed any good Halloween stuff?
Little Misfortune is a lot of Halloween vibes. I also want to mention a game that I played this year, and it became like one of my favorite games this year. But it came out, I think, last year, probably. The Excavation of Hobbs Barrow. It's a point and click game. One of those like old, there's a mystery going on, so you have to like point and click all around town kind of mysteries, kind of games. And it has like a female protagonist who's an absolute badass. It takes place in this very small English town in the middle of, well, I don't know if it's the fall, but it's sort of like a really rainy. The art style is very old school. Yeah, it takes you back to these kind of old games, kind of like Monkey Island, for example.
Yeah.
That kind of thing, where it's like pixel art and you have to point and click all over.
That's cool.
Kind of like that. But it's a lot more dark and gloomy. And it does have all the fall vibes that you want. Like, it's very rainy, it's an all English town, and there's a mystery, and there's a town as well. Kind of gives you like this Twin Peaks vibes, where there's a town where the characters are like really wacky, and they're really strange, and they say strange things and stuff like that, and you gotta like solve the mystery. It's really great.
Interesting.
It's now that you say that you would want like more games that take place in towns and stuff like that, and you have to talk to the people and have like that creepy thing behind. The Excavation of Sparrow is exactly like that.
Interesting. Cool. That sounds good. Sounds very good.
And then, I don't know, well, there's like, I don't know if it's like fall vibes, but it's definitely Halloween-y vibes. Speed Dating for Ghosts. Were you there when I streamed that game? Do you remember it?
Yes, I was there. I do remember. Yeah. That's a good one.
It's a good one because like the characters are very charming and they're very strange, and they're all like monsters. It's basically is a dating simulator basically, which is like a very unique genre to find in this kind of like topic that we're talking about. But yeah, it's a dating simulator with ghosts. It's very Halloween-y, I think. You basically learn about their lives and about what happened to them, and they take the form of like whatever happened in their life, and they have they have very unique personalities, and it's really cool to explore. It's a very short game. It's very minimalistic. Like, the character with a solid color background, but there's a lot of interesting dialogue going on.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I know we talked briefly about Pumpkin Panic, which seems to be going around.
Yeah, Pumpkin Panic.
Content
I might
creator.
play this tomorrow.
I think it sounds like a good game for you, yeah.
Yeah, or today, I don't know. I might play it today. Apparently it's like this little farm game where you have to like, plant crops and things like that. But then also during the night, apparently something happens and like something is chasing you, which I love to be chased by monsters specifically, not by any other type of individual, just monsters. A friend told me the other day, like, isn't Halloween like your Valentine's Day? And I was like, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, 100%.
100%. That's when I go out to find love.
That's hilarious. I like the marketing of this game. Come to this cozy farm. Sir, this looks scary.
Yeah, this looks very scary from the start of it.
The art style looks great though. And yes, free to play on itch.io.
Yeah. Definitely want to give it a try. And then there's also, I haven't played it, but I just got it. And I want to just a quick mention because I haven't played it, but I got this game called Bramble the Mountain King, which is like, I don't know if you've heard of it.
Yeah, I've been meaning to play it.
Yeah.
It's been on my backlog. Yeah, it looks great.
Yeah, it's a little bit like Little Nightmares kind of vibe, where it's like, it's two children and they kind of explore the world of Nordic fables and Nordic mythology. And there are like a lot of monsters and things like that. It's very interesting.
Yeah.
It's definitely something that I'm going to try to play this fall. And I'll let you know if it's like really, really good fall vibes.
Yeah. I think it's another Game Pass one.
Oh, interesting.
Which, sorry that I always talk about Game Pass, but...
No. It's good to know which games are on Game Pass if you have it.
Very good point, Jack, of saying, confirm Jess likes to be chased by Xenovore. Kat does not.
Yeah, because, like, we had Kat playing Alien Isolation, and how did that go?
Terribly. I'm not built for horror games, clearly. I thought I'd be fine. I've played Resident Evil Village. I've played Last of Us. I didn't get very far in RE7 because that was too scary for me, so I should have figured that Alien Isolation would be too scary for me. Yeah. But, wasn't having it.
Yeah, I think it's that element of, like, being chased or like feeling like something's gonna happen at any time, and something does happen at any time.
I think that in The Last of Us, there's definitely that element of like you learn pretty quick that nothing's really gonna jump out at me for the most part. Like it happens like maybe once or twice through the whole game, where you get like a jump scare. Whereas Alien Isolation, I didn't believe the game that I was supposed to be in a safe space.
Yeah, you're not supposed to believe it either.
Yeah, I just couldn't. I was terrified the whole time.
Yeah.
You're more than welcome to watch that VOD, anyone. But...
Yeah, it made for a very funny stream because it had Kat, like, when she solved a puzzle, she was like, oh no, I have a key to open the door. I don't want to open the door. It's like, you just didn't want to progress at all. You just want to stay there.
Which is exactly how I remember feeling during RE7 too. But I did a sponsored stream, which was a total mistake to do a sponsored RE7 stream. So I couldn't swear or...
you couldn't back out or anything.
Curse out the game. Yeah, I don't think I'll be returning to Alien Isolation. Shocker for the audience.
Wow, can't believe it.
Turns out I'm not good at just forcing myself to play those types of games.
Yeah.
But I'll stick to my
it's
little
completely
indie horror games because at least there's like a separation of disbelief that I
fair. Yeah,
can put.
definitely.
I did play Limbo. I just finished it.
Oh yeah, Limbo. Limbo and Inside are good fall games as well.
Yeah, definitely good Halloween vibes. Obviously, we've mentioned them in our cozy horror episode.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, love the puzzles, man. Same thing with what I loved about Resident Evil is like it's a puzzle game with some jump scares.
Yeah.
But the minute you make it too many jump scares, I'm out. But,
yeah. Do you think does Inside have jump scares?
Yeah, like it's got like the spider, and
right.
It's like more, I guess, the jump scare of death.
Yeah, that is a very gruesome death. Yeah.
Yeah. From what I've seen in Inside, it's a bit more eerie than it is. Like I feel like Limbo's a bit more calm. Creepy thing happens. Calm. Creepy thing happens.
Yeah.
But yeah, and obviously Little Nightmares. Like there's a bunch of these types of like cozier horror indies out there for the Halloween season that you guys should definitely check out. And listen to our cozy horror podcast episode if you haven't already, because that's got loads of them in there.
Yeah, loads of recommendations if you're looking for more.
Yeah. Cool. Did we miss any fall or Halloween vibes?
I don't know. I don't think so. I think those are good for the season. Like, how many games are you going to play this season? That's enough.
Yeah. And if anything, Stardew Valley. It's always there.
Yeah. You can always go back to Stardew Valley.
This is the time of year.
Oh, well, you didn't mention Coffee Talk. But we're always talking about Coffee Talk.
I always meant to talk. I decided to skip over it. But if you haven't played Coffee Talk after 5 episodes of me telling you to, play Coffee Talk.
It's like us with Edith Finch. Like, if you haven't played Edith Finch by now.
Yeah, come on. Edith Finch and Coffee Talk should be the first games you play after listening to this podcast.
Absolutely, yeah.
Anyways, in terms of assigned game this week, I think we've settled on The Vanishing of Ethan Carter.
Yes.
I'm very excited. We both love walking simulators. And this
one
I think is a bit more of a mystery, right? Yeah, than like Edith Finch or anything.
Yeah.
So excited about that. We will let you know. I will probably stream it. I don't know if Jess, you might want to stream it, but we will let you know.
I might want to stream it. Yeah.
That could be kind of fun. You guys can see both of our different live reactions.
Yeah.
But yeah, cool. We will let you know next podcast. Yeah, how we think. Next podcast might be slightly different than our normal podcast.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if we should surprise people.
No, let's surprise people.
Yeah?
Keep them guessing.
Yeah. Just know that it might be slightly different next time. For exciting reasons. And feel free to let us know if you can guess. Anyways, that's it for our gaming chats today. Shall we jump into non-gaming stuff?
Absolutely, yeah.
Anything fun or interesting happened to you this past couple weeks, Jess?
Well, I have started a course to become a Spanish teacher.
So exciting.
Yeah, I basically got fed up with my career and like it made me depressed and it made me sad.
Yeah.
And it destroyed me. I was in marketing.
Yes. Yeah, that is the funeral for most millennials, isn't it? Is you get into marketing and realize.
Absolutely. It's like you get into marketing and then you slowly feel your soul die.
Yeah. I think I'm one of the only humans on earth that actually enjoys marketing. I don't know what's wrong with me. This is who I am.
No, but it takes a very specific type of people that I do think you are.
Psychopaths.
No. I mean, besides psychopaths, also Virgos.
Yes, yeah, it's my Virgo.
You know,
energy.
That Virgo energy. 100%. It's like a combination of loving aesthetic. I can't talk. Aesthetically pleasing things, and at the same time, a love for organizing and like strategies and like schemes and stuff like that. You know, just like us having a schedule, a very tight schedule and things like that. That I think.
Yeah.
You have both.
It's a love of numbers over people, I think. That makes marketing interesting to me, which is awful, but, you know, I do think it is. That's why it's also a very draining thing for anyone with, like, basic social skills or, like,
definitely for me, it was, like, I think it was the numbers over people, honestly. I think it was the or also the quantity on over quality sometimes, that I don't think it's good. It's true for all marketing.
Yeah.
But it's true for like many clients that want things to
For
be
sure.
fast, and like it doesn't really matter what you post as long as you post. And you know, you have to be you have to try to be creative every single day, and at the same time they don't give you enough time to be creative, so it's like you're always doing stuff that you don't feel satisfied with, and that slowly kills you, I think.
Absolutely. Yeah. Sorry to make this a rant about marketing quickly before we get into your
No, of course.
very cool teaching stuff. I think the problem with generic marketing and like working for marketing firms or working in SEO and that stuff is like, yeah, it very quickly becomes like a cog in the machine where someone up top decides what the plan is and you're just feeding content into that. I think what I've always enjoyed about marketing and what I enjoy like working for myself or in kind of more management positions in marketing is that like you get to have these very strategic and interesting conversations about like why people are motivated to buy things or like take on a service, etc. Like I worked in marketing for a nonprofit for a long time, so it wasn't always like about like, you know, manipulating people to buy something, you know. But it's always very interesting how those like high level like strategic conversations, in my opinion. And so that's what I've always enjoyed about marketing, but fairly often that's not what you're doing. Instead you're just writing something, writing copy, you know, graphic designing, being told to be creative with little guidance. Like it's miserable. So
it absolutely, and it's like, for example, when it comes to like SEO, which is the thing that I was like specialized in, it's a lot of like regurgitating content. Like it's just I don't know if that makes sense. I don't know if that's the word in English, but like it's like copying content from other websites and like building your own thing, but at the same time the thing that you build is not, or the thing that you wrote, it's not very original. Nothing is very original. It's just like it feels like you're just feeding this search engine endless amounts of like information that is useless, or that it's already been said 100 different times by other people. It's just like, oh my god, it kills me.
Absolutely.
If you didn't notice, it kills me.
But thank God you have escaped, and now you're gonna become a teacher. I'm very excited.
Yeah, I want to become a teacher because I think it's like, I don't know. I hope that it is a job that doesn't have the pressures of like office jobs that office jobs do. The kind of like delivering results and you know, stuff like that. It really drove me crazy back then.
Yeah,
I just want to vibe with people and like teach them languages, which is something that I've done before. Very not very often, but I've taught English classes to children and like teenagers and stuff like that. And it's cute. It's like it's something that I see myself doing, at least.
Yeah, absolutely.
As opposed to everything else.
Yeah.
It's hard. Yeah, it's hard to find something that you really like.
Yeah. I think that's, you know, it takes a whole lifetime to figure that out, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But I do think like, it makes total sense to me that you'd be going into this kind of space. Like I can picture you being a teacher, and I think it's a good way to use, you know, your experience of living abroad and learning new languages and, you know, connecting with people of other cultures and all these things that will be very useful in teaching international students.
Yeah, and I might move if I find an opportunity to move to Canada, maybe.
Yes.
I'm really open to like whatever comes my way now.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Very cool. Oh, I'm excited.
Yeah. What about you? Do you have anything new that has happened to you this past few weeks?
Yeah, nothing that like, because all we've been really doing is packing and things.
Yeah.
But we're going to Iceland now.
Right, you're going to Iceland.
I'm so excited about. We found a little hack that it like saved us like 1,000 Great British pounds to fly through Iceland rather than fly direct to Vancouver for some reason.
Oh, right. So that's why you're going.
Yeah, so we were like, well, I'll save that money and go see a cool place. So Iceland Air, not sponsored, but Iceland Air, you should definitely sponsor me. I'm like singing your praises here. They offer like a thing where you just put in how many days you want to stay in Iceland, and they figure out the flights for you, essentially.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, so it'll be fun, I think.
Yeah. Have you checked any places that you want to like visit or anything that's interesting?
My plan, because we're going in December, which is like the best time of year to see the Northern Lights.
Yeah.
Obviously, a lot of that comes to luck of it just like not being overcast that day.
Yeah.
But fingers crossed, we're gonna do, I think, like a nighttime Northern Lights like tour. So it's like people who know how to chase the Northern Lights. It comes with like hot chocolate and you get driven around and try and find them.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Sounds so cozy.
Even if we don't see the Northern Lights, I think that would still be cool.
Yeah.
And then they have a lot of these like outdoor lagoons that I'm sure people have seen photos of before. The big blue like hot springs type thing.
Yeah.
So I'm probably gonna do that one day because both Jack and I like a hot spring like spa moment. So that'll be nice. But yeah, I think it's gonna be like the Reykjavik will be decked out in Christmas stuff. So I'm looking forward to some Christmas markets.
Absolutely, yeah. More Christmas markets. I think I'm really looking forward to like the season in general because I think the summer was way too long.
Yes, yeah.
I just want it to be I just want it to be cold and cozy and just like, enjoy the weather.
Yeah, and I think it's like it's nice. I don't live in a cold area of Canada. I live in Vancouver, which is very similar to the UK in terms of weather. But there is something I think a bit more Christmassy about Canada than it is about the UK.
Okay, yeah.
Like London is beautiful during Christmas and stuff, but I do think it'll be nice. And last couple of years we've had snow on Christmas in Vancouver, so
nice.
Hoping we get that again.
Yeah, I mean, at least you have the chance of snow. Like, there's no way there's gonna snow here, or I don't know if it ever snows in London.
Yeah, it does snow in London occasionally, but it'll be like probably February or something.
Yeah, I see.
But it's very unusual for it to snow in Vancouver, to be fair. Like, it just, for whatever reason, climate change has made that a thing now.
Okay.
But, yeah, so I'm looking forward to kind of triple Christmas vibes there. Jack and I's anniversary is also in December, so it's like,
oh, so cute.
Christmas is a kind of a nice season for us.
If I ever get married, I'm gonna try to do it also in the fall or like Christmas or something like that.
Yeah, people always want them in the summer, and I'm like, I actually think it's quite nice to have ours near Christmas.
Yeah, it's like cozy, and then you cozy up with you celebrate. It's just cute.
Yeah, and like we have. My parents-in-law get annoyed with my wedding pictures because we're wearing masks because we got married during COVID.
Okay, yeah.
But I do think it's cute that there's like Christmas trees and stuff in our photos.
Of course, yeah.
Despite the masks. So yeah, I like that vibe. I think it was nice, and I definitely, if we were ever to do a wedding one day, I think I'd still want it in kind of winter or fall.
Winter, yeah.
Just because I like that aesthetic, anyways.
Just best season, seasons.
Libra season specifically is obviously the best, but
okay, yeah. I'm gonna say yes because I'm also a Libra, kind of like rising sign Libra. I'm part of the group. I'm part of the group. Okay,
that does.
Don't leave me out.
A Leo Libra rising is dangerous. That is
dangerous. Why?
Dangerous combo. Feisty.
I mean, I am feisty.
It does check out, yeah. That's funny. We need to have a whole astrology podcast episode.
Absolutely.
Anyways.
Just for funsies.
But lives are changing quickly for both of us. So exciting times. Hopefully we will be consistent with the podcast, but if we're not, just know that we're living our lives and being cool people and touching grass and stuff, and or we're really sad. One of the two.
I mean, it can always be one of the two.
But don't worry about us. I do really appreciate the messages, though. I did get a few just asking where we were. So that means the world to us.
I appreciate it too. There were a lot of people who were like, "Hey, are you okay? Yeah. You haven't been streaming." I was like, I'm fine. I just got
yeah, life happens sometimes, but we're trying not to be too much pressure with this podcast, and I guess this is a sign for all of you to like, don't feel like you have to do anything. You're allowed to take a break if you need it. It's important, and life happens at its own pace, so don't try and force it.
Yeah, agree.
Anyways, thanks, Jess. I've missed you. It's been so long.
I missed you too. We gotta record more often so that we get to talk more often.
Exactly. We're both like very much drop off the face of the earth type people. So it's like if we don't record.
Yeah, if we don't have a reason to actually talk, we're not gonna talk.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll do it, guys. I promise. We will put in some recording stuff. If not, just so that Jess and I can catch up. So.
Yeah, exactly. Just maybe it's not a podcast about games anymore. It's just a podcast about updating each other.
Yeah.
What you've been up to?
Amazing. Thank you, producer Jack, as always, and thank you guys for listening. Make sure to like, review, all that good stuff. We appreciate it, and let us know if you can think of any games that we missed today that we should have talked about that you think we should play. And as always, let us know if there's any like topics and stuff you want us to tackle in future episodes.
Yeah.
Thank you all so much for listening.
Thank you so much. We'll see you around, and remember to follow us on social media, although we haven't been posting on social media.
But like, just in case we do post one day, you guys should really follow.
You should really follow us. Like, imagine if we do, then you're gonna miss it. So please follow us.
Just two marketing girlies that hate doing marketing. So we try our best.
We're trying our best, yeah.
Anyways, thanks guys, and yeah, we'll see you next time.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.